What would you do if your choices were slowly starve to death, die from tuberculosis in a filthy workhouse, or join a gang of child criminals? That's not the plot of a dystopian Netflix series. Those were the actual options for kids in 1890s Birmingham, where the real Peaky Blinders operated. You're about to discover the horrifying facts about the real Peaky Blinders that the TV show completely ignores. The real gang members weren't the Shelby family with their fancy cars and political connections. They were children as young as 12, desperate enough to blind someone with a razor-capped headbutt for pocket change. Your romantic notions about this era are about to get slashed harder than their victims' faces. I start walking down the street, choking on the thick smog that filled my lungs. This wasn't the stylish, moody Birmingham from the Netflix show. My time travel watch had dropped me right into the middle of actual 1890 Small Heath. Where were the sharply dressed gangsters with their razor caps?
Oi, you, give me that coat, or I'll slice you.
I spun around, heart pounding, expecting to see my first real Peaky Blinder. But instead of Cillian Murphy's ice blue stare, I found myself staring down at a scrawny kid who couldn't have been older than 12. His clothes were basically rags, his face smeared with coal dust, and the famous cap on his head was nothing more than a filthy scrap of cloth.
I said give it.
I backed away, tossing in my jacket. I thought the Peaky Blinders were older. The kid laughed, showing off a row of missing teeth.
We start young, don't we? You think Thomas Gilbert got to be top man by waiting around?
Thomas Gilbert? My brain scrambled for a connection. Where the hell was Tommy Shelby? As the kid dashed off with my coat, reality hit me hard. Everything I knew from the show, it was all wrong. The real Peaky Blinders weren't some organised crime family. They were scattered groups of desperate kids, barely surviving on the streets. For the next few hours I wandered through Small Heath, trying to piece together what the hell was going on. I passed kids, some no older than 8, standing on corners picking pockets, running cons. No opulent betting parlours, no whiskey distilleries, no grand political machinations.
They call him Kevin Mooney too, but Gilbert's the real name.
An old man told me after I handed over the last of my coins for information.
Leader of them Peaky kids. Know what his biggest score was last month? Nicked 3 bicycles from the factory yard. Real criminal mastermind, that one.
Bicycles? Not fixed horse races or smuggled weapons? I blinked in disbelief. The man must have seen it in my face because he laughed.
Where'd you get your ideas from, boy? Penny dreadfuls? And what's with them fancy clothes? You look like you're playing dress-up.
I glanced down at my outfit, my best attempt at replicating the show's style. Compared to the real street kids, I looked like a clown. They wore whatever they could steal or salvage, clothes that didn't fit, patched up and worn to threads. Practical, not fashionable.
And them razor blades in caps, that's just stories to scare folks. Ain't no one wasting good razors on that nonsense.
By nightfall, I knew I'd have to get a grip on the real street hierarchy if I wanted to survive. These weren't criminal masterminds plotting in smoky backrooms. They were kids, frightened, hungry, brutal when they had to be, doing whatever it took not to starve. Near the canal, I watched 2 rival groups collide. No dramatic speeches, no slow-motion standoffs, just kids hurling bricks, swinging belts with heavy buckles and fighting savagely over who got to control a street corner for begging or pickpocketing. Images from history books flickered through my mind. Shots of Harry Fowles, baby-faced Harry, arrested for stealing bicycles. Stephen McNichol, caught breaking into houses. These weren't mobsters, they were just kids trying to survive. That night, I huddled in an alleyway, trying to process everything. If I was going to make it through this, I had to let go of the romanticised crap I thought I knew. This wasn't a crime drama with anti-heroes and cool hats. It was survival, pure and ugly. Tomorrow, I'd have to face the reality of life in 1890s Birmingham. Filthy slums, no sanitation, disease everywhere. Poverty so crushing it made modern homelessness look like a 5-star hotel. No fancy cats, no sharp suits,